Hi everyone, it's Thursday. I'm going live. I'm really excited today about what I'm going to talk about because I'm doing things a little bit different and I'm really excited to share that with you. So, whoever's here, let me know you're here. Drop it in the comments below. If you're watching the replay, drop it in the comments below. And I'd really love some honest feedback about this live. So let me know what you think. So today we're going to talk about intentions versus goals. And we're talking about this because well, you know what? I'm just going to be completely frank and candid with you ladies. I'm having a bit of a, what do we call it? A midlife blip. Sort of wondering where I'm supposed to be going, sort of feeling a bit of a lack of direction. And yeah, I'm having an interesting time in life right now. But I was asked last week, someone asked me, describe a time when you set a goal and reached it. And I was completely stumped. I just kind of sat there going, geez, I don't know. I had a really hard time answering this question. And so I kind of spent all weekend freaking out about it a little bit, hence, the midlife blip. But I was thinking, like, have I not actually set goals in my life? Have I not accomplished or reached any goals in my life? Like, why was this question so hard? I have set goals. I have reached goals. But I think that maybe what's happening is that the term goal or the idea of goals and goal setting is a concept that I have grown uncomfortable with. So it's difficult for me to answer this question because I think I don't like the word goals anymore. I think it's a bit triggering for me in this midlife blip. And the more I think about it, like my brain's been racing all weekend thinking about this. The more I think about it, the more I'm certain that I'm actually completely done with goals and goal setting. And this certainty comes from a place deep inside my body. Call it my intuition, call it my gut, call it what you will. But I know from deep inside me that it's really time for something different. And the word goal is really triggering, not because I haven't set and reached goals before, but because it no longer serves me. And I really wanted to talk about this today because I know a lot of the women in this group are also in midlife time of life. I don't know if you're in a blip like me or not. I think that's not relevant. But I think that it is an interesting thing to consider at this time of life, this idea of goals. Um, and of course, if I'm like, okay, well, if I'm no longer going to make goals, or if I'm no longer going to ask my clients to set goals, because I mean, that's what I do, right? I'm a health coach. I ask women to set goals and push and work hard and put everything aside so that they reach those goals. That's my whole job. So I'm being completely honest with you here today. Um, I'm flipping that on its head, and I think that's why this is such a big deal for me, because I think it's really going to change how I practice being a coach. But if I'm not going to do goal setting and for myself, potentially for my clients, then what am I doing? What do I do? Because I want to keep moving forward in my life. I want you all to keep moving forward in your lives, to keep growing and accomplishing things. So how do we do that if we don't set goals? And what's kept popping up for me is the word intention. Um, this is a word that used to trigger me. In fact, using the word intention, like let's set some intentions, made me feel like I'd been hugged for way too long by someone wearing too much purple, maybe reeking of sweat and patchouli. I grew up in a small town where there was many of these types of people. The word intention was bandied about recklessly. But I have to say, I'm actually maybe coming around to this idea of intention. Um, and that has led me to like inquire about, well, what's the difference between intention setting and goal setting? Isn't it kind of the same thing? Is this just semantics? Is different words, same pile? So all of these things squirreling around my head this weekend. And so let me tell you what I came to. In where I'm at in my life, in my midlife disarray, I think much of me is actually really desperate to live with intention. If intention means, um, listening to myself instead of the outside world. If intention means it's based on feedback I receive from my own desires, from my own specific needs and wants. If intention is based on uh, practicing self-reflection and self-awareness and responding to that. If intention is based on or sort of grown or come up with from a place of calm and peace and self-knowing. If intention, and this is what I think is the difference. I think intention there is about creation, and goal setting is about doing. You set a goal and you do it, right? And intention really is about creation. It's about the journey. It's about the exploration. In that place, there's more room for creative thinking. There's more room to pivot if things aren't going the way you want. There's also something to me, and I'm still working this one out. Goal setting to me feels very masculine, and intention feels a bit more feminine, or it feels a bit softer somehow. And it's more about the relationship that you would like to cultivate with yourself and with the outside world, as opposed to just getting it done. A goal to me is like just getting it done. Intention means like setting the intention is, to me, it's like intention is like self exploration. Okay, it's a creation of self, and it's a creation of a life that you desire. Okay, goal setting feels like it's really about separating yourself from the world. Goal setting feels like we often have to separate parts of ourselves in order to achieve those goals. An intention, I feel like, is more a holistic view. This is the person that I want. This is the life that I want. And how can I create that? How can I walk down a path of becoming that person, of developing that relationship to myself, of developing that relationship to the world, of creating the life that I like, and seeing it more as like a path that you walk down and make choices as you walk down. It's like there's like a path with like different branches, and you choose which branch to take. A goal feels very linear. A goal feels like I'm at point A, I need to get to point B. I will power my way there. That's, I think, where the masculine comes in, right? It's just like plowing forward with goals, right? So that's, I know it sounds all a bit nebulous, and maybe it sounds a bit like Lady in the Too Much Purple and Patchouli. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you think about this. But I really do think attention is about, like, ultimately it's about getting to a desired whole state and paying attention along the way to your own sense of intuition, to your own sense of what you know needs to be done, instead of what an expert or a guru says or the world says. And it's about that wholeness, I think, is really important. So why does this seem important? I think that it just seems important to me right now in this part of my life because it feels more authentic. And I'm really curious to hear what feels authentic to you. If this idea of intention feels a bit more authentic than goals, if you think I'm like way off on what a goal is and what an intention is, if you think a goal and intention is the same thing, please let me know. I'm curious. Like I said, this live's a bit different. This is about my musings and curiosities, and I want to know what you think. But ultimately, I don't think life is linear. Life is never like, when was the last time you said, I'm here and I'm gonna go there and nothing's gonna stop me and get in my way? Like, it doesn't even happen in freaking traffic, right? There's stop signs, there's lights, there's detours, there's pedestrians, there's all of these things, right? Like, life is not linear. So why are we changing our lives in a linear fashion? It just doesn't make sense to me. So intention allows for us to feel things, and intention allows for all that shit that happens in life. It allows for it. And it encourages creativity and play and curiosity. There can be a clear direction in intention, but there's also a need for, a willingness to take the winding, branching path. This, to me, feels more in line with where I'm at in my life. I don't know, maybe goal setting is a young person's game. Maybe it's something that we're told that we need to do and we all freaking bought into it. Well, I'm buying out. I am opting out. If you guys are with me, if you're opting out of goal setting and you want to like start setting intention instead, let's do it. But first I want to know, what is intention to you? And I just also would like to point out that intention, I'm not saying that it's like goals are hard and intentions are easy. I'm not saying intention is like about choosing the easy path when you choose your path. I think it's about choosing the path that's right for you at this point in your life, right? In fact, sometimes maybe it's even the hardest path that is available to you at the time, but it's the right path. So, like I said, I'm a coach. This is what I do. I ask people to set goals. I'm gonna like come like clean and say it. This is like a moment of revelation I had this weekend. I think I've been asking people to set goals and warp themselves to maintain the straight line to achievement. If you've worked with me, let me know. Be honest with me. Is that what I did? Is that what you feel that coaches do? Say point A to point B. Here you warp and weave and twist yourself in knots to get from point A to point B in that straight line. Is that what coaches do? I'm worried that that's what I've been doing. It works. It works for a lot of people. It really does work for a lot of people doing that. It has worked for me a lot in my life. It's worked for my clients. But there is this voice inside of me, and it's growing, and it's saying that it's time for a different way. Whether that's the time of life that I'm in, whether that's it's time for a different way for all of us, I don't know. You tell me. Let me know. I'm so curious. But for now, this is a super short one today because it's just, like I said, my musings. For now, what is true for me in my life, and I think what I'm moving towards in my business is a desire and a need to set intention, not goals, and to allow that to guide me in the actions that I take in my day, in my growth, in what and how I change, and to help women discover their intention so that can guide them, right? Because intention comes from a place of intuition. It comes from a place of inner knowing. Okay, I think this is the biggest difference for me. Goal setting is what you're supposed to do. Intention is like it comes from you, from your intuition. You can choose not to listen if you want to. Like if your intuition is telling you that you need to exercise more and you still don't do it, then that's a different issue entirely. But are you not doing it because you have it as a linear goal? Or are you not doing it because you haven't actually set the intention, which would be how you want to feel, which exercise will facilitate? Or is it something else entirely? Let me know. But so to allow those intentions that come from a place of intuition to guide action. And again, this could just be, two different words, same pile of poop. I don't know. You tell me what you think. But for me right now, the word intention has a very different feel. And just rings a bit truer for me. So I'm changing that in my life. I'm playing around with it. I'm curious to know if you're wanting to play around with it in your life at all. And if you are, then let me know, because then I'll do a live about how I'm working on this setting intention instead of goals, because for me it's been a very different process. I had a very specific process for goal setting before, and I'm now coming up with a new process for intention setting. And I'm curious if you want to know how I'm doing that. Let me know. Write intention down below in the comments, and I'll do a live about that. But ultimately, I think setting intention, because it's about listening to yourself and your intuition, it requires really an ability to respond to the world around you from within. And the only way we can do that is if we introduce ourselves to ourselves and start building a relationship with self. I think that's the starting off point. So if you're not sure what your relationship is with yourself, start by figuring that out. Journaling is a great way to do that. Just sitting with a cup of tea and staring out the window at the trees and thinking about it. Whatever you need to do to start building relationship with yourself so you can listen to that internal voice is a great place to start. Because really, ladies, we have spent a lifetime. I'm in middle age, if you're in middle age, guaranteed, like 99% guaranteed, you have spent a lifetime ignoring the wisdom of yourself, because we are trained to, okay? And you're setting goals based on what you're supposed to do as opposed to the wisdom of your inner self. Let's frickin' change it, okay? It's time to change it. Let's change this narrative. I'm walking the path. I'm just starting it. It's really exciting. It's very different. It's very interesting. Happy to talk more about it. Let me know if you're interested. Intention below. And really, at the end of the day, according to this, you shouldn't even listen to what I have to say, because You are your best guide and advocate. So tell me what you think about that. I'm super duper curious. And I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. Um, think about this. Please think about this and let me know what you think. I'm so curious to know what you have to say. Okay, talk to you soon. Bye.